Have you or someone you know recently had their children taken away by child welfare services on allegations of abuse and neglect? My name is Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Wirth Law Firm, and I'm here to help you make law easy by describing a little bit about what goes on to the process of a juvenile deprived case where the kids have been removed by DHS. Obviously, this is going to be a very, very trying time for you. Emotions run high. There's so many questions that there are just no answers to because nobody's willing to actually give any information. They're just making you follow a lot of instructions and jump through a lot of hoops. Unfortunately, that's normal. The best thing you can do in this situation is to contact an attorney to help guide you through the process. If the kids have just now been removed, there's going to be a hearing on that within the first 72 hours. It's what's called a show cause hearing, where DHS has to show cause as to why it was appropriate for them to have removed the child from your care. If somehow, some way, DHS is able to prevail at show cause, the next step is going to be to have an initial appearance on the petition. This is going to be where DHS will have the prosecuting attorney, it's usually somewhere in the district attorney's office, file a petition alleging that the child or children have been deprived under the statute for abuse and neglect. The definition is a little bit broader than I like for what constitutes abuse and neglect, and that's not something we're going to get into today. I'm going to stick just with the actual procedure of how this is going to go. Hopefully by the time you're at the hearing for the initial appearance on the petition, you will have counsel with you, either counsel that the court appoints if you're unable to afford an attorney, or you've been able to locate and hire your own private counsel. At this point, you'll enter a not guilty plea to the petition, and you'll have the choice to either have a hearing on whether or not the petition should actually, be granted and adjudicate the child deprived, or you can do what's called a stipulation to the petition. If you have that hearing, the hearing is going to be just in front of a judge. The rules of evidence are very relaxed, and it'll be your attorney versus the state's attorney going back and forth, and the child's attorney also going back and forth to figure out whether or not this child has been deprived, and the court will ultimately make that decision. If you choose to stipulate to the petition or do what's called a no contest stipulation, basically means I'm not saying I did anything wrong, but I am saying that I think it's likely that a court would find that my child meets the statutory definition, and I'm much more concerned about getting this case on track to getting my child back. At that point, the court would enter what's called an individualized service plan with you at the very next hearing. This is going to be a plan that DHS is supposed to create with you in order to address the conditions that led to the child being removed and help you correct those conditions. As long as you are diligently working that plan, DHS is usually willing to work with you in order to make sure that the plan stays with the child coming back to your home. If for whatever reason too much time passes, or you just for whatever reason are unable to actually follow the service plan, that's when the state would file what's called a petition to terminate your parental rights. Just because they file that petition does not mean that you're automatically going to lose your rights. What that means is that the case is going to be set for a jury trial. At that point, a full trial will be put on in front of a jury of your peers to determine whether or not you have willfully neglected or failed to correct the conditions that led to removal, or whether you've been making a good faith effort and deserve more time to be able to do so. This process is incredibly complicated, and it can be very, very difficult. I would very much encourage you, if you or someone you know is in a situation where you're looking at having to deal with a case like this, please consult with an attorney immediately. Once again, my name is Birkhead with Wirth Law Firm.